Hey, what's going on there? Back with another review and my thoughts quick video. I do a weekly poll where I put out 4 movies that I haven't seen, which would be potential first time watchers, and I get you guys to vote for the film that I'll be watching and reviewing. And this week, Django won. So Django won the poll. 1966 film, starring Franco Nero, spaghetti western, directed by Italian director Sergio Kabuki, or Kabuki, however you want to pronounce that. I think it's Kabuki. Regardless, you'll know who I mean. I've just sat down and watched the movie, and yeah, I was really impressed. I'm quite a newbie to westerns. Never watched a lot of spaghetti westerns. I've seen a few of the classics and stuff, and I've acquired a few into my collection. And this is one of them that I got off as a gift. So I thought I'd put it in the poll for this week. I'll be showing it in my monthly haul as well, so I'll talk about it a little bit more as well. But yeah, just watched it, thought it was pretty damn good, really solid, and yeah, well acted. Franco Nero as the character Django, the main character, is absolutely fantastic. He's brilliant. He's a really sort of quite a brooding, like mysterious, like laid back as well kind of guy. He's got a quick hand on the gun, he's quick on the trigger, quick on the draw. Film starts off like quite simple with some Mexican guys tying up a woman who they appear to have captured near a rickety old bridge, and they're whipping her. Then some American men show up, shoot down the Mexicans, and they claim the woman and say, should be going with them basically. Django takes them out with his quick draw, shoots a bunch of them down in like a second. He's that quick, a quick draw. And the woman's called Maria. He sort of takes her to the nearest town. He also drags a coffin. He has a coffin which he drags along. An old wooden coffin that he has a big rope tied around, and he drags that along. And there's a little bit of mystery to what's in the coffin. All is revealed later on. Major Jackson shows up with his men at the saloon bar. Django chooses to stay out with Maria, which belongs to Nathaniel. He runs that bar, and he pays Major Jackson and his men for protection. So it's basically Major Jackson's racketeering. He's running a racket basically, and he charges Nathaniel and the girls for protection. There's girls who live there, hookers, prostitutes, and after Django's had a meal at the bar, Jackson shows up a little later on. This is after a scene that is rather funny when one of Jackson's pals is in there and basically wants to get Django's attention. Django's just about to drink a beverage, an alcohol beverage. He takes the cork out and just spits it in his face, takes the cork out with his teeth and just pops it in the guy's face, which is really funny. Anyway, that was before Jackson showed up. So Jackson shows up with all his friends, his army. Django, again, quick on the draw, takes them all out. Asks Jackson how many more men does he have. Jackson responds, 48. So he goes, go get them, you'll need them. So they come back. Django's hiding behind a log near the saloon, and they haven't seen Django yet. He's got his coffin with him. We still don't know what's in the coffin. So the men are ready to they're coming out the woodwork on horses, on foot. They wear red hoods. Jackson's men do, Major Jackson's men. They're ready to find Django in the small town and take care of business. But Django, pops open the coffin. We're about to see what's in there. All is revealed. It is a old school machine gun, a bit like what you'd get on a turret kind of, but like it's free-handed by Django. He handles it freehand, so it's basically an old school machine gun. He takes the men out, leaves a few standing. They scarper with Jackson. Okay, then the Mexicans show up. The Mexican general, he knows Django. He's obviously also believes that he has a hold over Maria as well. That's the woman from the beginning, who will turn out to be Django's love interest. Django goes on a bit of a caper with the Mexicans, steals a bunch of gold from a camp where Jackson's men are, and Major Jackson himself. They do a bit of a Trojan horse job where they come in a carriage. The men think that it's going to be a bunch of Nathaniel's girls. Nathaniel's, he's front and centre moving the cart. He's on the cart, basically getting the horses moving. So they see Nathaniel. The cart's covered up. They don't know what's in there. They assume it's going to be the girls, as Nathaniel's riding the horses that are pulling the cart. No, the fabric lifts up. Bunch of Mexicans, the general and all his men, and Django as well, using the machine gun, take a bunch of Major Jackson's men out, more of his men, should I say, steal a load of gold, and off they go. Back to the bar, they have a big celebration. Django wants his half of the gold, which is promised by the Mexican general. He says no, he's got more use for Django, so he's still kind of friendly with Django, but he kind of double crosses him slightly because Django just wants his gold so he can be on his way. He's not interested, but he says they're back off to Mexico. The general says they're going to take Mexico back, and he wants Django to be a high-ranking officer. Django responds something like, you've got plenty of men here who can be high-ranking. I just want my cut of the gold, and I'll be on my way. Thank you very much. No, they hide the gold in a sort of like a horse's stable, like an old wooden shed, which leads onto a horse's stable, and say to Django, look, the gold's here, it's safe, we need your help, so you've got to help us. There's only one way in and one way out of this shed, and it's going to be heavily guarded. A bit later on, I won't go into too much detail because I also don't want to wreck the film as well. I've probably given you quite a lot already. So Django basically comes up with a plan to using one of the prostitutes to distract some of the Mexican men guarding the shed. He manages to get into the shed, sets up the machine gun out of the coffin to start firing on its own and spraying people who come through the door, as he basically fills the coffin full of the gold and is on his way on a horse. Basically puts the coffin, which is full of gold, onto a cart. Maria points a gun at him, says, you're taking me with you, I want to be with you. Yep, sure. Off they go. And it all goes from there, sort of thing, reaching towards the climax of the film. The Mexicans, I will go over this bit, I won't give too much away anymore, but the Mexicans, near the end of the film, Django somehow is on near the rickety bridge where from the beginning of the film, and the coffin slides down into the quicksand and Django goes after it. He's sinking. Maria manages to try and pull him out and get his head above the quicksand, and the coffin with the gold in's long gone. Maria gets shot on the bridge. She's not exactly died, but she's she's in a bad way and she's laid out. That's because the Mexicans have found them. The general gets his men to pull Django out the quicksand by lassoing him with ropes, and the horses pull him out. The general says, you know what, I'm not going to kill you, we're going to be all square now. He gets one of his men to basically smash Django's hands in with the end of a gun. So Django gets his hands broken and smashed in, and then a bunch of the guys walk over them with their horses. So his hands are bleeding, they're bloody, covered in blood, they're broken. He's going to be no good at the quick draw. After that, we go back to the town. The girls are gone, don't know where they've gone, probably with the Mexicans or something. Nathaniel's getting ready to leave because the major's coming and there's going to be trouble because Nathaniel was involved in double crossing the Major Jackson. So he's packing up, ready to leave the saloon. Django comes in through the doors, holding Maria. He said, you can probably save her. She's not going to die, I don't think. Nathaniel says, yeah, I will do, but we all need to get going. And Django says, my hands are broken. There's nothing I can do. And then it reaches a climax in a graveyard with Django and Major Jackson and his men. And you'll have to watch the film to see what the outcome is. Will Django survive? Will he perish? Will he go over Major Jackson and kill him and his men and manage to survive and possibly heal his hands so he's able to be a quick draw on the gun again? So that's basically the story. I just wanted to run over that. I know it was dragged out a little bit. Sorry if I bored you. But yeah, fantastic film. It's shot really well. The location's fantastic. It really captures the essence of like a spaghetti western from what I've seen. You feel like you're there in this sort of like remote, quiet town in the Wild West. It's all like muddy as well. There's a lot of mud. You see, they really focus on that. The director did, showing you like the boots going through the mud and how mucky it was. And then there's like, You know, there's fights in the desert, gunfights in the desert, and you got all the Mexicans and Major Jackson and his men, who wear like red hoods and things, a bit of a cult. Fantastic. Acting's great from all the characters. Franco Nero, especially as the main character Django. Everyone else is great too. All the acting's superb. Really enjoyed it. So I did give it a 4 out of 5. I'll just pull the poster up. I picked that poster. That's from the Arrow video edition, I think. I had another Blu-ray. I didn't watch the Arrow edition. I've got a different Blu-ray. But yeah, really liked it. Really captures the Wild West and the essence of like a spaghetti western. I'm looking forward to seeing more, because I've heard this, you know, this isn't even perhaps one of the best ones. It's one of the great ones, but not necessarily the best western out there. So I'm looking forward to seeing films that are possibly even better. But it's going to be hard to top Django, because I thought the character was fantastic. I know this is one of Quentin Tarantino's favourite films as well. Obviously inspiring the 2012 or 13 movie Django Unchained with Jamie Foxx and Leonardo DiCaprio. This movie obviously inspired Tarantino to make that movie, which is also fantastic. But this is a classic spaghetti western again. Yeah, totally enjoyed it. I'm really glad you guys picked this one, because I know I had some other ones in there, like Five Nights at Freddy's and a couple of others. I can't exactly remember which ones I put in right off the top of my head. But yeah, I really enjoyed Django. 4 out of 5. Great performances, great location, great spaghetti western. Seems, as I've only watched a few spaghetti westerns, I suppose this is quite a good gateway spaghetti western, is what I've been hearing from people. You know, a good gateway into the genre. And I will be watching more of them. So yeah, 4 out of 5 for me. 4 stars out of 5. Solid film. Great spaghetti western. That's my review anyway. So thanks for listening if you have. Thanks for voting. I'll put another poll up for more first time watchers, and you guys can pick what I watch next. Yeah, looking forward to some more spaghetti westerns. Django, awesome film. Loved it.